Well, hey, it's another edition of the Loaded Radio podcast, and my name is Scott Penfold. It's great to be with you this week for another one. This week, a great one, man. Going to be talking to Mark Kloeppel. He is the guitarist and vocalist for Baltimore, Maryland death metal band Misery Index. Awesome death metal band, been around since 2001, and they've got the new album Complete Control, which dropped this month, so we're going to be talking about that. So that's coming up in just a few, and as well, the return of Loaded Radio's own Johnny Rude. We connect with him in the second portion of the podcast, where we talk about the week that was in hard rock and metal, and I think we're going to be talking about some of the classic Kiss stuff, as Creatures Fest just took place in Nashville, so we're going to go over that as well. Okay, so if you like, stick around for that part. But first off, as I mentioned, this band has the new album called Complete Control, which dropped on May 13th via Century Media Records. It is a blistering album, man. Essential death metal listening. The band, of course, is Misery Index. And Mark, great to have you here, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. Just traveling through the New Hampshire countryside at the moment. Out here on tour with Origin, Wolf King, and Wake. Headed to Boston.
Oh, nice, man. How's the tour been so far?
Pretty good, man. Yeah, can't complain.
Yeah, good crowds, good audience?
Yeah, indeed. It's real crowded out here, though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we were at Foufoun's in Montreal a few nights ago, and the promoter there shared with me the calendar of their events, and it was just like, it was like a metal show every other day for like the past, like since May.
Oh, yeah.
And like onward through the summer. So yeah, it opened up a little bit now. Everyone.
Yeah, man, it definitely seems.
Everyone's taking advantage of the situation.
Oh, absolutely, dude. How are the new songs going over?
I guess they're going over pretty good.
Yeah, okay. So you're getting a mosh pit and everything, eh?
Yeah. Oh, you mean live?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. They're going over great. They're going over great live, yeah.
Getting into Complete Control. Now, is the album itself a product of the pandemic?
I mean, our music's always kind of reacting to our environment. So, in that way, then yes, and everything else involved in that. So
certainly.
I mean, yeah, obviously we do a lot of social commentary. So, we have certain feelings about the anti-democratic systems that, been put in place, at the reason of health, public health and safety, things like that. We don't really have solutions, but, it's definitely something that one should be wary of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, were you guys like together as a collective working on stuff, or was it like separately?
Yeah, I mean, we're all over the place. Our bass player, vocalist, and lyricist Jason lives up in Helsinki, Finland.
Yeah.
The rest of the boys were out in Baltimore, Maryland, and I actually live in Missouri. So we were just kind of like trading riffs and ideas like back and forth over the internet. We actually had to record in separate studios. I mean, I know things are a little bit more open now, but in the not too distant past, it was scary to travel and scary to gather at all. And, so yeah, we ended up recording in separate studios, and like they were near us, totally out of like necessity and not knowing how else we were going to do it. So
now I see you brought Will Putney back. How's it working with him, and why is Will back?
Well, I mean, he did a really bang-up job on Rituals of Power, so we didn't feel like we wanted to. We didn't have any reason to change, And so we brought him back on this, and he did amazing work, and the only difference between this and the last record is we got Jens Bagren to master it.
Oh, cool.
So, and I feel like if you compare the two records, Will's stuff is like really slammed and bombastic and clear and modern, and that was really cool. I felt like Jens somehow through mastering, I added a touch of like organic grit that we liked, and super work.
Nice, man. Now, tell me about the title track. I mean, it's a pulverizing riff-heavy track. I think it's awesome. What can you tell me about the title track of the album?
Title track's actually that's Jason's song.
Was it?
We call it Jason's song. I mean, we worked on everything together, but we have like primary, like there was some songs have more influence from one particular person than another, and that's definitely like that's Jason's song. And speak for him. It's more or less like navigating societal and structural systems of control that's being imposed upon you, and how you're trying and how you're navigating that. How you're navigating the auto consent of the situation, being a realization of that, not really knowing solutions or anything like that, but just the experience of being in it.
Yeah, the Eaters and the Eaton. What can you tell me about that one?
The Eaters and Eaton. That's I wrote that song, and Jason wrote the lyrics, and it's essentially about work for pay for freedom kind of thing. Monetary systems of control that you are reifying with every dollar you claim to be your value, and use for trade and trade your labor for. Not that we have to go back to a barter system.
Yeah,
it's not bad or anything, but it's used. It's utilized to keep the herds going in certain directions. Upper level strategies were put in place to basically control the flow of people, commerce, things like that.
Yeah.
So certain folks can get on the good side of that.
Well, listening to this song, I sense a bit of almost like a black metal influence. Was that intentional?
I don't know. I did play in another band called Scour, and Derek Kingaman writes all the riffs for that, but maybe he kind of rubbed off on me a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. Infiltrators kick serious ass. Can you tell me about that one?
Yeah, that's another Jason hardcore song.
Yeah,
it's a slammer for sure.
It definitely is pounds, man. It's great.
Yeah, we just wanted to get in and out of there, and basically, what do I want to say about this? If you are in a scene, or if you're backing a movement or something like that, your intent is really important to have purity of intent. If you're wearing a movement or a scene, like a trend or a new pair of shoes, it's ultimately damaging to that movement or scene. So if you're like trying to strike out as an ally for like human rights or something, but you're not really like genuine about it, and you're just kind of like trumpeting in vanity's sake, it really does a lot of harm to the actual movement going on. So that song is kind of just calling that out in pretty vehemently. We like to avoid that us them mentality, but it's not really talking about people, it's really talking about the action. Absolutely,
man. I've always been a fan of drummer Adam Jarvis. I think he's definitely tight. And you guys joined the band around the same time in 2004. How's it been working with Adam?
Adam? I've known him for quite some time.
Yeah.
We've been playing alongside each other for a good amount of time. I don't know if I can answer a how question at this point. It's like
it's just like second nature at this point.
He's sort of like a family member at this point. So it's like, how do you feel about your dad?
Yeah, right. Well, he's okay going? Sometimes,
How's that working out? It's like, I don't know. We just kind of like we do a lot of things like automatically at this point. We're kind of like, especially in songwriting, we're kind of like anticipating what the other person's already going to do live and otherwise. So pretty strong drummer. It's like he's not one of these like super technical prowess, finesse kind of guys. He's pound the shit out of the drums as hard as you can and as fast as you can.
He's a straight up death metal drummer, dude. I think he's great.
Yeah, but I would say I don't know if I'd call him straight up death metal drummer, because he definitely has a punk lean on.
Oh, totally, sure.
I mean, he's got like the punk grinds like in him, that feels a certain way. I know it's just for some, it's just all blast beats and kick snare, but it's not quite like that. There's a feel to it. He's got it.
Certainly does, man. Without question, he does. Going back to Rituals of Power, how was it working with Eric Rattan?
Well, I didn't work with him. He's been a friend of ours for a really long time.
Okay.
We love him. He's he's like, he is metal embodied.
Oh, certainly is, man. No question.
It's just so amazing. And he's amazing to talk to, just overflowing with stories and choice phrases.
Really?
He's definitely like kind of like this militant sort of outlook on metal and like how it should be performed, and we really appreciate that. And he recorded Adam for the drums for Rituals of Power.
Yeah.
And whipped him into shape. And I got heavily criticized on my scratch guitar tracks.
Oh, really?
Pretty shitty.
From Eric Rattan, eh?
Yeah. And honestly, I wish I'd have gone down and recorded with him just to have that experience. I would have liked to have the drill sergeant, telling me it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, man. I think he's great. I'm a big fan of his as well. I wanted to actually ask your opinion on obviously with Judas Priest being inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, kind of a sign that, maybe metal is starting to get a little bit recognized. What are your feelings on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the whole heavy metal stigma?
I don't really have an opinion on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't really pay attention to it.
No.
I mean, it's cool they're in there, I guess. I could really care less, but I like Judas Priest.
Yeah, of course, man.
I will Judas Priest. Like Judas Priest, whether the Rock Hall decides to include them or not. Honestly, I feel like they've sort of lost their integrity. Like the way they've made some decisions they've made, it's kind of like,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, man.
Cool.
I mean, that was
you're trying to deviate, trying to steer it back in the right direction. I mean, that's awesome.
That was probably the most rightest answer you could give, dude. Like, I
also want to make a point too, man. Like that, like throughout history, like metal music. Let's not forget that, like in the 80s,
yeah,
metal was pop music.
Yeah.
So. It's just, I think that in and of itself is important to keep in perspective. Like when you're talking about because there's this like kind of narrative, metal's always the underdog kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not really.
No, it isn't.
At one point in time, it was the thing. That it was pop music, so on the top, it just kind of things rotate, and things ebb and flow and go up and down, and that's how it works. Yeah. And metal has a huge following. Have you ever been to Wacken? Have you ever been to Hellfest?
It's awesome. Yeah, it's absolutely.
Especially in Europe. I mean, there's a whole European circuit that's got nothing but get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And look at some of these other festivals, like the Danny Wimmer Presents events. There's a ton of metal on those things, and they're enormous. Biggest band in the world. I mean, who comes to mind? Probably Metallica.
Absolutely.
Over everyone and everything.
Absolutely, dude.
They're a metal band,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's kind of funny how it's just like it's glaring everyone right in the face, but it's like they don't want to see it or they just don't want to accept it for whatever reason. It's really, I kind of find it funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's that or if metal folks have this sort of underdog. That's kind of mentality, where it's just assume that, because I hear that narrative too, but I look around, I'm like, I don't know, it seems like things are going pretty good,
Yeah, man.
Things are going good for us too. I can't support that narrative. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, dude, that's totally great. Awesome. Mark, thanks again so much, man. We really appreciate your time here, man. And I love Complete Control, man. You guys are fucking awesome.
Cheers, mate.
And there he is. There's Mark from Misery Index. Don't forget, the new album is badass. It's brutal. It's called Complete Control, and it is out and available right now. But now it is time in the podcast where I will be joined by Loaded Radio's Johnny Rude. He is coming to us live from Las Vegas, Nevada, where we will talk about the week that was in hard rock and metal. And again, you'll have to excuse my voice. Still getting over a bit of the COVID there, right? So, thanks for bearing with me. Johnny, how you doing, though?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling all right. Yeah. As in the words of the great Steve Winwood, I'm feeling okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's strange. I felt a little bit run down for a couple of days there. And I thought, I'll just take a test. And it came back positive. So I'm like, holy shit, dude.
It's fucked, dude. I mean, I've thought I've had it too, just, a little while ago. And I've taken 5. Never mind. I've taken 1, 2, maybe 2 or 3 home tests, but I've gone to 5 PCR tests with Walgreens just because I've been around people who've had it.
Yeah.
And then I got sick. It was just a cold, but I went and said, I got to check it out. And sure enough, it came back negative. So, so far so good, but there could have been one time, maybe, who knows, but every time I test, it comes back negative. It's nothing showing. So,
you must have a healthy immune system, buddy.
I must.
Yeah. You know what? It's the thing too, that I found that because I've been so diligent, or I've at least tried to be diligent, I'm not the kind of guy that goes out and surrounds himself in situations, but I was at the Megadeth concert last week.
Yeah.
And I just sort of put 2 and 2 together, maybe because that's such an enclosed space of so many people.
That's right.
That's probably where I caught the fucking thing. Right. So,
Yep. And that's where I got this cold. I went to that Scorpions thing, dude.
Right.
And I came back, and a couple days later, I go, fuck, I picked it up. Risk versus reward. I was kind of pissed off, but I did. Once I was in the symptoms, I went and got tested. Nothing. It was just a fucking cold.
Right.
Weird, but that's where you picked it up, because it takes about 3-4 days to incubate, and boom.
And that's about when it started coming on. And you know what it was, John, is it was about, I think about 4 days after the concert. And I just went for a walk around town, and it wasn't much of a walk. But when I got home, dude, I felt, why is my body so achy and sore from just a simple walk? And I'm not getting that fucking old yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it just smoked me. I guess not in any way, but just tired. I was just like, I'm just going to crash. So I crashed a lot. Besides that though, dude, I mean, I feel fine. I've been doing work and all this stuff. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know if it builds a tolerance than the last time I had it or something. I mean, who knows? Sure
it does. Well, you've got the vaccines. You said you got boosted, right?
Oh yeah, I got them all, dude.
So, and then you had COVID, and that's why, again, the reason you pick this up is because there's different variants that are from that Omicron that came and took over the BA1, BA2. Now there's a BA4 and a 5, and they're slightly different. And that's why you can keep picking this fucking shit up.
I mean, I guess when it comes to news, just looking through today's news, LA Guns, I know that I'm bringing this up because I know that, Scott Coogan. So that's why I want to bring this one up, as LA Guns has announced the band's new drummer, Sean.
Yeah, I know him. I know him.
You know Sean Duncan?
Yeah, he's Jeff Duncan's brother.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, that's Sean. He's
Duncan from Armored Saint.
Yeah, he's done shows with me. We've done shows together. But that's Sean Duncan. That's Jeff Duncan's brother. He's a good drummer. He's good.
Yeah, he's played with like Dizzy Reed, Jack Russell, and Mark Kendall. He's played with Gilby Clarke, Frank Hannon from Tesla, Rudy Sarzo. So he's played with a lot of people, man.
He's just been around. He's just a utilitarian drummer, dude. But he's a good guy, good drummer. Yeah, we've done gigs together. I think his band's open for us a few times back, maybe a couple years ago. But great guy. But the Duncans, here's something about the Duncan family. There's like 5 of them. They have a band called 4 of them. They have a band called DC4. It's the Duncan family 4, and they all play guitar, bass, drums, and guitar. I mean, and it's crazy, and that's who's played with us. They've opened for us, DC4,
including Jeff Duncan from Armored Saint.
Jeff Duncan, yes. And they're a cool band. Yeah, that's where he's come from. So he's from LA. But that's who's drumming for LA Guns. Yeah, I read that the other day, and I just kind of chuckled. Yeah, because Coogan was in there, and he's not doing it. For whatever reason. I don't know. Did you read something why he left?
No, honestly, I'm going to be honest. I guess I'm out of the loop. Last I heard of Scott Coogan, he was still playing drums for Ace Frehley. So that's how I know.
Yeah, that's a few years ago. No, he's drumming for Stephen Pearcy right now. He's doing that gig.
Oh, okay, cool, good.
Yeah,
good.
He's in Stephen Pearcy, the voice of Rat.
Yes.
So yeah, on that the hairbag stuff, and Steve, I think they just got announced for that Monsters of Rock cruise. It's a better lineup this year too. As we're diverting to this for a second, I looked at the lineup. It's not bad. They got Dad, Disneyland After Dark on there.
Love those guys, yeah.
It's cool, and again hosted by Eddie Trunk and that whole crew.
Same crew of people.
It's so overdone, dude. To me, it's just overdone.
By the way, Scott Penfold and Johnny Root are available for these gigs as well.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Yeah, we could do that too. But anyways, the lineup is pretty cool. Again, a lot of the same stuff that's been on it for years, but they've got some new stuff, which is good. And it's a longer cruise. I think it's instead of 4 days, I think it's 7 days now, which is a little better. I don't know if anyone's ever been on that stuff, but it goes by pretty quick. I think this might be the second year they've made it a little longer, but still a little risky, everybody going on there.
It still is.
It's still a little risky out there.
I take it from me. I can assure you it really is, man.
Yeah, the risk is worth the reward.
Yeah. Something else really cool going on this weekend, Creatures Fest. I guess you've heard about that, eh?
No, maybe I have. Refresh my memory. Is it?
It's where it's okay. So it's being headlined by Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. Bruce Kulick.
Oh yes, I did. There. Sorry, Scott. I did. Yes. Now that you say, I did read something about this.
Yeah,
yes.
man. So essentially, Ace Frehley and Peter Criss took the stage last night. There's video up at our website, loadedradio.com. And it's what I expected. Ace did the whole set, and Pete came out and he sang a couple of songs. Here's the thing, though. I didn't expect the second or the second song they played. The first one I kind of figured, okay, Hard Luck Woman. Here's what they pulled out for the second one. You're going to love this. Strange Ways.
Oh, awesome.
Dude, you and I love that song.
Yeah, that's just a killer tune.
And it sounded mint, dude. I was really, really happy to see that.
And Peter sang it.
Peter sang it, and he played drums on it too.
And he played drums too. That's amazing. See, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, what a great song. So
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's up at loadedradio.com right now. But I think tonight they've got Vinnie Vincent is going to be headlining. Right. And then tomorrow, Bruce Kulick, I think, is wrapping up the weekend. So, you can sort of see why they called it Creatures Fest and what they're sort of building around, right?
Right.
But, I think it's really interesting. And I really wouldn't mind actually seeing some Vinnie Vincent footage. Because, I haven't seen Vinnie play in so many years, man.
Yeah. Well, he totally went. He was a recluse for years, and all these rumors and stuff. Is he alive? And there's again a lot of oddness with the guy. And I just read.
Did he have guns or some shit, or am I?
Yeah. There was something. Again, I don't know if there was something to do with an ex-wife, girlfriend sort of thing, but he was. I don't know, in the hinterlands somewhere, very reclusive, like the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. And there were, you can read all this stuff and hear all this, I don't know what about him. But anyways, I read something recently about him. It was he transitioning to become a woman, and he never said no. He loves the allure of what I don't know, the mystery. He loves having that about his life. At least that's what he was saying. Because if you look at pictures of him, man, he looks odd. Again, he looks really
I shouldn't
odd.
laugh. I feel terrible, but he does not.
No, don't laugh.
Right. Odd is the right way.
He looks odd. And again, these questions get asked, Bruce Jenner, are you falling into that? And he never said no in this one article I read. Very interesting.
That is very interesting. And you know what? But I got to hand him this one, a smoking guitar player, man. Vinnie Vincent, I've always thought was just a very talented player, hands down.
Yeah. I sent you that video picture of him. I didn't know. He played for Dan Hartman. Okay. So Dan Hartman, he died in 1994, American singer-songwriter, record producer.
That name is familiar to me too, dude.
Oh, Dan Hartman. He wrote that song in the movie Street of Dreams. I can dream about you.
Oh yeah, that was a huge.
Yeah, he wrote, that was his last really big hit. But buddy, he wrote Free Ride as a member of Edgar Winter Group.
Come on and take a. I love that song, man.
Yeah. So many. He's had Billboard number 6 in the Billboard Hot 100 in 84 UK. He was in the James Brown song "Living in America." He wrote that.
Really? From Rocky IV.
He wrote everything, buddy. Everything. This guy, personal life and death. Here it is. Hartman was never married and had no children. He died March 22nd, 1994 in Connecticut, home related of AIDS. He was a homosexual and he never came out at all, but people kind of knew. He was diagnosed with HIV in the late 80s. He kept his HIV status secretly and supposedly did not seek any treatment for it. Even after friends, an intermittent collaborator, Holly Johnson, formerly of the band Frankie Goes to Hollywood, announced his own HIV status in 1991. Right. His remains were cremated. He was survived by both parents and his brother. But he's written so many hit songs, this guy, man. He was a prodigy. When he was a young kid, he just picked up piano and he started writing. And then he got hired, I think at like 13 or 16 to join, I think could have been Edgar Winter. And then eventually he just started writing songs on his own and he became the musical director of Edgar Winter. And it's interesting. So full circle here. Vinnie Vincent joined his band. And if you find this video for this disco tune, and I sent you a couple of stills from it. Yeah. It's Vinnie Vincent. And I go, oh my God, that's where Vinnie Vincent came from, playing guitar. And then again, eventually that was 79. So he joined Kiss, in 83, 82 was the Creatures. So he was a utilitarian player. I guess he was known as a pretty good guitar player, Vinnie Vincent. And he came in and, cleaned up all the leads and played all the stuff.
Ace played on Creatures, and then Vinnie came out for the tour, I think.
Right. And I saw that tour with him with the ankh on his head.
Yeah. Did you see that?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. I want to say I saw it a couple times, dude. And it was just ridiculous when they came up with that. Paul Stanley goes, "Hey, you're going to be an Egyptian god."
That sounds like Paul too.
Hell yeah. Oh, so dude, it was brutal, dude. Yeah. I thought that was just pure goofiness when I saw that. I was like, oh, come on, you guys. Anyways. I saw that a couple times, dude. And I still have one of the t-shirts from that tour.
Oh yeah, I know you do. You got t-shirts from every fucking show out there, buddy. Again, he's going to be headlining Creatures Fest tonight. So I guess a lot of people are excited to see that. I mean, essentially you're getting a whole collective of Kiss fans of this thing. I'm sure. But Trickster's playing. There's a few other bands playing in there too, just thrown in for good measure. But
sure. I bet how this is put together. It's some, promoter or like a Kiss fanatic dude, who loves this stuff and, putting a thing like this together. Because at the end of the day, it's only Kiss fans that matter or that count, that are going to go and see this.
But the thing is, there is enough hardcore Kiss fans, right? They can make a thing out of it, right?
Right. Like, when you see the Kiss conventions, it's mind blowing because I've been to a few of them, but there's a massive fan base for that stuff. And a Kiss cruise, but you include a whole bunch of other stuff with it. I just remember, the Kulick brothers there, Bob, wanted to be involved in it so badly. And finally they shut him down saying, look, buddy, you're not in the band. You've never been in the band. You played a couple of solos on Alive 2.
I think that's it, right?
That's it. But I know it was Gene or Paul just really shut him down. And so before the cruise happened a few years ago, someone in one of the bars said, "Hey man, well, you can play here in the parking lot before the cruise takes off." Yeah. And that's kind of what he did. So I think that's where this is sort of stemming from. And again, it's so cliquey when you get Vinnie Vincent, Bob Kulick. I mean, Ace is cool. That's and Peter, that's the really unique thing. And I guess if you're a deep Kiss fan, if you can get the reclusive Vinnie Vincent out, it's neat, but it's strictly for Kiss dudes,
Yeah, totally is, man.
No one else is going to that, man. Where is this? Where was this? Or where is it?
It's happening in Nashville, at Nashville's Sonesta Nashville Airport Hotel. John. And a cool thing that happened, though, if you're a fan of Kiss, I mean, I guess what happened is they were having a get together in the pool of the hotel yesterday. And then Ace Frehley just showed up with an acoustic guitar and just started playing tunes like 2000 Man and stuff.
Was he wearing that outfit?
Which one? The Kiss outfit?
The one that I sent you.
Oh, no. For those listening at home, Johnny sent me this great picture of Ace.
It's out there. You can find it.
Yeah, what is he, backstage or something?
He's playing with a marionette. It's a black and white. It's an awesome picture.
He's sporting a semi. There's no other way to put it, dude.
There is no, but yeah, it's unbelievable. And he's giggling. He's laughing like Ace would. It's from maybe 1976 or 5.
I've heard stories about being a backstage where Ace Frehley, I mean, apparently I think Ace liked pulling his cock out a lot. And one thing he did was I think he went up and put it on Peter Criss's shoulder at one point backstage. And then Peter turns and gives it a kiss.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I mean, this was I think it was in Gene or Paul's book. I can't remember.
Right.
But I mean, when I remember reading that, I just thought this is just the most revolting thing.
Oh, yeah.
What's up with Frehley, dude?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's a nut, dude. He's funny. He's a funny guy, man.
Oh, my God.
He's a funny dude. But yeah, it's a classic picture. Anyways, you're saying they were at the pool and Ace comes up on an acoustic guitar and started jamming.
Yeah, played 2000 Man and I guess a few classics there. The only video I saw of it was him playing 2000 Man, which is a Stones cover, obviously.
Right.
But it sounded good. It sounded like the song from, I think it was Dynasty it came out on. But yeah, it sounded good. I mean, it sounded like Ace, right? So what can you say?
Well, that's cool. I like the Peter Criss aspect. It's good to hear that he's still kicking around out there.
Oh, and dude, they played Strange Ways with him on drums. That's great.
That's awesome.
All right, do not forget to check out loadedradio.com for all your hard rock and metal news constantly. As well, you can check it out via the Loaded Radio app. It's free. You get the 24-hour radio station there, all the podcasts that come out every week, and all the hard rock and metal news as it happens. So get on that. And thanks as always for tuning into us right here on the Loaded Radio podcast. We'll be back again next week with an all-new edition, and we look forward to talking to you then. Horns high, and have yourself a great week.
Loaded Radio.